I'm back. It's me, Denny Down Bad. Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, we have some more Apex Legends. Specifically, why I think that the Apex community thinks that Stormpoint is a not good unranked or public match map. I think I worded that right. Yeah. So the community, most of the community thinks Stormpoint is the worst map for public matches. Some of them has come around and said, yeah, it's probably pretty good ranked map, but for public or unranked play, it's easily the worst. And this game right here kind of pretty much verified or validated my claims as to why I think the community thinks this way. Because they don't land anywhere else but Cascades. Like, it's Cascades. It's the same thing with Kings Canyon and Containment, World's Edge, and Fragments. Hell, Olympus and Estates to a degree. Like, when most of the lobby land at or around near one area of the map, of course you're not gonna find anybody by the time the first second ring closes. In this game, pretty much almost epitomized that to an absolute T. Now, this early game, we actually got lucky and people landed antenna with us. You saw in the beginning it was a hot drop. Like, look at the kill feed right now. Kill feed looking insane. But we got lucky. About a team, maybe two, landed here with us in the beginning. So we're gonna have a fight in early game. You know, that's like it or not, that's a good thing to have. Like, fighting one or two teams at one POI, that should be something that most, if not all, of the Apex community should be able to handle. One or two teams land with you, okay, y'all should be able to deal with them. But where this game really starts to validate my point isn't in the beginning at all. It's near mid game, which I know this isn't anything new, that on most maps, if not all the maps, the mid game is pretty slow. Unless you're like on Kings Canyon, where every part of the game can be hectic. But
even killing them was dull.
But the mid game being so slow, like, I even sped this up. I sped up the gameplay. Use fast forward. This is at what, ×4 speed? So yeah, I didn't want to cut this out, but I wanted to show how many people would die by when we were looting. So we're down to what, 8 squads, 22 people? 21 people. I think that's 8 squads, 21 people. So 20 people, not bad. Okay, that's not bad. Round 1 is still closing, but what, you start off with what, 20 squads, and now we're already down. We're less than half. We're already gone through half of the squads have already perished. Okay. And I also sped up this part as well, because this is just, you know, traveling, but even more people are dying. And I didn't fast forward this part because I want to show where people were dying. Cascades, all of it Cascades. We're down to 6 squads and round 1 hasn't even finished closing yet. 16 people. All we did was fight like a team or two, do a little bit of looting, did a little bit of you know, moving, and by the time round 1's finished closing, 5 squads, 14 people left. And most of it is at Cascade. You can literally hear the gunshots coming from Cascades.
Round 2, beginning ring countdown.
And that's why mid-game, unless you're at Cascades, is horrible on this map. Because people just go to one place and flock to it. Like, and it's not like these people couldn't avoid Cascades. They chose to go to Cascades. They could have easily went around, came from where I'm looking at right now. They could have came from up top. They didn't have to go right through Cascades to get out of the circle. And it's not like the circle is hurting too either. It's not like it's round 3 or 4. But for some reason they just feel like they have to fight their way through Cascades, and I don't know why.
There's someone here.
Only 4 squad, 10 people are left, and round 2 just started. Round 2. I have what 200 damage. Not even enough to kill Gibraltar with red shield. That's how much damage I've done.
A new kill leader.
And even the people who are currently fighting in Cascades, they don't necessarily have to go through Cascades to come around. Yeah, I know they'd be avoiding the action, which is something you don't want to do. Especially on this map, since, you know, people always talking about, well, you need as much action as you can if you're gonna have fun in this map. But
Death box there.
when a team like mine right here, all we did was land somewhere else
Enemy there.
that's not near the middle of the map antenna,
Let's put you.
and you know, we didn't get too much action. Now, we did the smart thing here. We didn't do anything necessarily wrong here. We just waited till they came out. Like, there was literally no point for us to go in there. And just like that, before round 2, before what, maybe a little less than halfway through round 2, we're already down to 2 squads. Almost the entire game of Stormpoint had already happened within 2 rounds. And that's why this is considered such a bad pubs map. Not because of the map itself, but because how players play this map. They play it just like World's Edge,
Don't let them slip away.
just like King's Canyon.
Enemy at
The
that
most
location.
popular spot in the map. They just land there.
Target there.
And not don't even think about it from like the perspective from us. Think about it from the perspective of like players who either hot drop or landed around. Maybe their first fight was at Cascades and they're lost. Like, imagine walking in Cascades, you haven't fought anybody yet, but you got a little loot, and now you want to go fight somebody, and the nearest fight is at Cascades. You don't even get to shoot your gun, and you just get aped on by a Apex Pred Wraith or Apex Pred Horizon, and just like that, you're back to the lobby. Like, I know it sucks, but I'm just bringing up different perspective from the point. But for the rest of this video right here, I guess I'm not gonna harp on it anymore for the rest of this video, because now we're on to like the gameplay itself, or the rest of the gameplay itself. And right here, this was actually pretty fun. This end game was fun for me. It was intense, nerve-wracking, as you can see. Probably getting involved, help my teammate right there. Use the Ash ult to avoid a Gibraltar ult. Like, this almost felt like a chess match to me. Like, I'm not saying every fight needs to be like this, but this was the funnest part of the game, the ending. This honestly saved the game for me. Saved this entire game for me. It was fun, intense, nerve-wracking. Like, we're in a battle. Like, I already used my ult, so I'm like, well, we can't stay by these rocks. And for once, a Wraith actually used her ult to get her teammate out of trouble. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I haven't seen that done in a while. Like, Race only do that when like a teammate is down and they're trying to relocate for like a res, but she actually got us out of a bad situation right there, and I can appreciate that. Yeah, that was really smart on her part. Like I used it to dodge the Gibraltar ult because I didn't want to be by the rocks anymore. That was actually pretty good on the race part. So good job. But the game isn't over. So and the quick problems do occur. We are low on like, well, I'm low on meds. Like I really don't have too much cells, bats. Like I got 2 bats, a couple cells, and some syringes. I wanted to take that master, but I had already used my 2 slots. Probably wanted to switch it out for one of my weapons, but I couldn't. So oh well. And even this part was like real intense, cause it's different simply for the fact that you know you gotta engage this team at some point, and they're looking for any way to get their advantage over you. Like
Marked my next location.
it became, and that's where the intensity comes from. Like knowing that, you know, hey, somebody's watching us. Somebody's. It's different from just randomly running around the map thinking that you're safe. Like you know somebody's watching you, and you know you're gonna have to fight them at some point. So we end up relocating. We take the middle building because if the circle when the circle closes, and if they weren't over here in time, we'd be able to choose which next building we'd probably want to go into. So now the waiting game begins, and it's really just, I don't want to say a lull period, but the intensity is still there. But I don't know, the anxiousness kind of just flows back a little bit for us, you know. It just kind of settles down a little bit. Like, you know, I'm still kind of aware, like, yeah, I don't want to get caught, you know, slipping at all. But they end up taking that back building right over there, and I have no idea why I'm trying to scope in with a Havoc. Like, what? Look how horrid that aim was. Why was I trying to shoot with a Havoc on controller at that range? Like I almost want to get rid of Havoc. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. Why would I fire at that range? So it's round 4. Well, round 4 is closing, I should say. Round 5 is about to begin. And they set up camp, and they actually end up getting circle advantage. So unfortunately for us, that's just how it is. So now we have to come up with a plan of attack, because their entire building is in a circle. Only part of ours is, which I guess it doesn't bode well. I don't want to fight them in the open again, especially if they have a Gibraltar. So fighting them in a building would be better, I guess, even though they do have a Watson. So it's kind of like pick your poison here. But I guess fighting them inside would be more beneficial to us, you know. Instead of like trying to tank a Gibraltar all outside, we would rather deal with a couple of Watson fences, I guess. So the time is winding down, 15 seconds before the ring closes, and Race ends up using her ult. Now, I had no idea what they were going for. Turns out they just wanted to start the fight early. They wanted to end it quickly, so I'm like, I kind of don't want to take that. But then Rafe takes damage. So I'm like, screw it. We gotta get in there. Like, we gotta get in there. We gotta make something shake. Global with the Mastiff, she gets it down. Like I said, Gibraltar threw his ult. Thankfully, it didn't hit me. It only hit me like once. And Loba's just going off with the Mastiff. So I do a smart play here and just end up Ash ulting into the room. So that was a pretty big brain for me, for my standards. But yeah, that was, I guess, Cascade Legends. That's the Cascade Falls experience on Stormpoint. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, maybe even leave a comment for feedback. But other than that, it's been me, Dane Down Bad. Hopefully, I will see y'all in the next video. I'm out. Peace.